What's going on, everyone? I'm Julian, and this is the Inside Scoop podcast. Joining me today from the Twin Cities metro area out of Cretin Derham Hall boys hockey, Jimmy Dodig. Welcome
Thanks for
in.
having me.
Yeah, I literally just got in contact with you over the weekend, and so glad to get this going. We've been a little bit behind on the shows, so we do apologize, but this one's going to be an awesome one. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you and the Raiders program a little bit more. So for starters, I always like to ask, what do you like doing outside of playing hockey, and I guess really telling us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, like playing hockey outside too. Outside hockey in the summer, love to play spike ball with my buddies. And I think I could honestly go pro in spike ball. And then beach volleyball too. Like to mess around at the lakes in Minneapolis, play some volleyball. And then I go fishing with my brother a lot too as well.
Okay, so I noticed you like using your hands a lot with spike ball and beach volleyball. I love spike ball personally. I played it a lot in college, and I was never really that good at it, but all my buddies would like to play. It was super cool. Beach volleyball, I didn't really know they had that in here in Minnesota.
Yeah, there's a court in St. Paul and Highland that us and a couple buddies go to and have some good fun.
Now, I actually grew up like 2 blocks away from CDH, so I know I'm born and raised there. Where's the court? I have no idea.
So you know where the Ford plant was? So it's right over in that new development area. They put in a court. Yeah.
Oh, they added one there? Okay. I know they like added like a skate park there, and they've done a ton of stuff.
Yeah, it's right by the skate park.
Stuff up there. Okay, I didn't know that they had beach volleyball. That's super cool. Okay, so like playing sports, you like going fishing, really just being outdoors,
exactly.
An outdoorsy guy. I get you. Okay. But primarily hockey's your thing. Do you play any other sports for CDH, or is it just
nope,
hockey?
Just hockey. I played baseball 9th and 10th grade year, and then
I understand. Well, if you want to focus on hockey, I mean, it can be difficult to be a multi-sport athlete. I totally get it. All right, well, cool. Well, that's awesome. Well, tell me a little bit about how the season's going for you guys. I know there's a lot of high expectations heading into this year, and I think so far you guys have done pretty well. The first portion of the year.
Yeah, I would say season's going well. You know, our 2 losses, Edina and STA, both great teams, both really 1-goal losses when you take away empty netters. And I feel like we were in those games in the third period, and it could have gone either way, but it didn't go our way. But I feel like we're coming together as a team as we go here, and I feel like it's going well.
Okay, good. Losses to, STA is great. They have beaten the pants out of so many teams this year. I know they just suffered their first loss to Moorhead, who Moorhead's on a runner. And then they beat Edina twice this year. And for the Hornets, they're a team you never want to look past. I think like a lot of people in the hockey community, I feel like a lot of people have kind of overrated Edina this year. They're great. However, like I didn't think they were going to be as good as they were last year. They just lost so many guys. And like I think it's kind of shown like, okay, like they've lost to Moorhead twice, they lost to STA in a close game. You guys battled them close, but again, a team that in any given night can compete with anybody and beat anybody. What was like kind of like your favorite moment? I never got a chance to watch the game, but like what was like your favorite like moment a part of
for the Edina game?
For Edina, yeah.
I would say third period comeback. We went in the third down 2-0. We pride ourselves on being a third period hockey team. We got the legs to beat any team in the third period as long as it's within like 3 goals. And we came out, mounted a little bit of a comeback, got to 3-2, had some chances when we pulled our goalie, but couldn't put one in.
It happens. That's just how hockey goes, unfortunately. Who would you say is their best player? I know I hear a lot about Schneider, as I want to say, it's just a sophomore, so he's a pretty young kid. I know Mason West gets a lot of attention. He seems to be probably one of the best, if not the best overall athlete in Minnesota. I know he's a great quarterback for them. What are your thoughts on those guys?
Yeah, Freddie Schneider, that kid's nasty. Kid can skate like, he was the fastest guy we've played this season for sure as a sophomore. And obviously West is a good player, a freak athlete, and yeah, they have some good players, definitely.
Yeah, and that's Edina for you. They always manage to get good guys. Well, now I want to go into a little bit about goals that your team has maybe, it's been a goal all year long, or maybe some new goals that you guys have formed, and then also for yourself too, if there's any milestones or things that you want to do by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, team goal, obviously, every team in the state wants to win it all at the X, but I feel like together, I want to get as a captain, I want to get our team to just buy in, everyone, every game, just being able to give their all four lines, all three periods, and I feel like if we play like that when it comes sections, like we can beat even the top teams in our section, STA and Rosemont.
Yeah, you guys playing one hell of a
Hmm.
section. I know. Well, I know. I mean, you guys have made it to the X. I mean, oh gosh, I want to say I know you guys made it last year, of course.
Last 3 years.
Have you guys made it
Yeah.
3 years? And I know Rosemount's had some good seasons before. I feel like this is kind of the best season STA's had in a while, at least like since I was in high school. I know. I graduated in college in 2023. So I'm 24 right now. I graduated. I actually went to Highland Park Senior High, and so I graduated from there in 2019. And I know STA had some really good teams back in those days. I feel like the past few years, like they've always been good, but like this is one of the best teams I feel like I've seen from STA in a long time. So what are you guys gonna try to do, specifically to make it past those teams, potentially on how seeding goes? Because you guys played STA this year, right? And you lost. So, in terms of seeding, it's possible. I think right now it's very likely that STA, if they continue doing their thing, they can be the 1 seed. There's I think a realistic possibility that you guys get a 2 or 3 seed, which would result in most likely playing Rosemount in the semifinals, and then more often than not, you'd probably play STA in the section finals. So like, what are you guys going to try to do this year? Maybe that you've done differently over the past couple of years and your career at CDH that you're going to try to make it past that tough section and punch your way to the X for the fourth straight year.
Yeah, I would say it definitely starts with the rest of our conference games to just try to dominate these as we can. And, we'll have good games with White Bear and Stillwater. They've got good teams this year, but I feel like just doing the best we can in those games. And then neither us or STA, we don't play Rosemont. They don't play any private schools. So hopefully, hopefully we can get the 2 seed out of that. And I feel like we'll probably be matched up with them, and we played them in a preseason scrimmage. That was a good game up in Moorhead. So no, that should be
Okay.
a good one. And then get by that STA. Obviously, we just got to play super detailed and shut down their power forwards they got there.
Yeah, STA is the real deal. I mean, I remember like a few weeks ago, like I had them as my preseason number 2 team, and I feel like not a lot of people had them as high as like, maybe even you guys, Shakopee. I know had expectations to be really high up there. Edina, of course, but STA, I feel like they've really looked great, and really besides the one game against Moorhead, I mean
Yeah,
they've shut down
yeah,
everyone. They've played really well, and offensively, I mean, they're beating the pants. I say this: they've beaten the pants out of so many teams this year. They could score the puck. They kind of have that no. They have like that no mercy
yeah, exactly.
mentality. I feel so. I think it'll be an uphill battle, but that's awesome stuff. I love it. So now I want to jump into your college recruitment. So you're committed to Merrimack College, which is a fairly new Division I program. Am I right?
Oh yeah, they've been around for a bit. I would say probably like, I don't know, they've at least 20, 30 years.
Oh, I'm thinking of
Yeah, Augustana
Augustana.
is new. Yep.
That's what it was. 'Cause I know there's St. Thomas, that's where I went to college. So I know they're pretty new at D1, and then it was Augustana. Okay, my bad. Merrimack. So what was it that drove you to commit there? And I'd like to learn a little bit more about your recruitment process before making your commitment.
Yeah. January 1st, I was talking to, a handful of schools, and the Elite League came that fall, and I played like 5 games, I think it was, and then I broke my thumb in Elite League, had to get surgery, so I played like one more game like with a broken thumb because I just wanted to keep getting noticed, and then after that game, the next day I got a call from like Merrimack's assistant coach, and he just loved my game, and we had breakfast the next day, him, my dad, and I. And I really just liked the path he laid out for me and the role he wanted me to play, like a shutdown defenseman for the top lines in the Hockey East of BU, BC, Maine. And I felt like it fit my play style, and it's exactly the role I wanted.
Okay. Well, that's good. I think you want to choose somewhere for your next few years that you're going to fit in well and you're going to be comfortable about, and, you agree with their play style. Have you officially visited the
Yeah, I
campus?
visited it that fall and I really liked it. It's a smaller Catholic school, kind of like CDH in a way. A lot of kids being athletes, and I love the feel of it. Felt like home.
I didn't know that they were a Catholic school. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I never went to private school like K through 12, but I know going to St. Thomas, it's very important for a lot of people, and honestly, even myself, like I'm Catholic, and um, I'm assuming maybe you are, at least grew up with it, and I know it's really important for some people to continue their academic and their athletic careers at a school that is about that. So that's really awesome. But were there some other schools besides Merrimack that maybe caught your attention or that reached out to you?
Yeah, there was, but my family, we like to keep that
For sure.
enclosed. But I have good relationships with all those coaches, and I thank them for reaching out to me
Oh,
and
of course.
giving me a shot. And yeah,
No, I
yeah,
got you. I completely understand. Everyone's different
yeah.
about that. That's totally cool. Well, that's awesome. Well, congratulations again for your commitment to Merrimack. I wish you well with that as well. So I wanted to take a step back. So last year, you guys made the state tournament. Have you played? So I know you're a senior. How many years have you been on varsity for
This
CDH?
is my third, so I wasn't on it freshman year.
Well, okay, it's not
Yeah,
freshman year. So you've been to the X
yeah.
twice. I know last year, um, it was a hell of a game against Centennial in the quarterfinals. I remember I was actually at that game, and I saw a lot of Centennial because I saw them in their semifinal against Rogers, and then when they made it to state against Maple Grove. And I know they had a handful of really good guys. Their goalie, Easton Cody, was putting on a show in sections, and I kind of thought he was doing the same thing. But then, you guys rallied back, and it was a heck of a performance. I'm sure a memory that you're gonna keep for the rest of your life. What happened during that game
Yeah,
for you guys?
starts all the way back in sections. We were pretty pissed off when sections started. I mean, we didn't finish the regular season the way we wanted, so we ended up the 5 seed in our section, and we had to go into Park to play there, packed barn. It was their first home playoff game in a while, and we got out of there with the win. And then at Braemar, played number 1 seed Eastview and beat them in overtime. Sophomore had a one-timer goal from the point to win it. And then STA, and that was just a battle. Owen Nelson, our goalie, played unreal. And then we buried on our opportunities there. And then State comes along, and so my sophomore year at State, I was really nervous. Just felt like a deer in the headlights. Like, don't want to mess up on the big stage. I mean, you can't get prepared for 18,000 people playing in front of that many people. So last year, I really tried to get the younger guys in our team to just give them that expectation and try to just calm them down as much as I could. And then we went into that game, had a tough first period, some penalties, went down 3-0. And then our coach told us that after the first intermission, like, we're in this game, we're not getting the bounces, like, keep playing our game, and third period we'll take over. And that's what happened. And Max Anderson hit the famous selfie stick at center ice, and that game gave us the fame the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, that was amazing. To come back and win that sucker, being down 3 rip early is always tough. The selfie, yeah, the selfie celebration, for those who knows what that is, that was probably one of the most iconic celebrations in all of high school hockey
Yeah,
history, I
for
would
sure.
say, honestly. And then I lost my train of thought. Oh, shucks. What was I going to say? I haven't done this in a while, so I'm
You're good.
losing my train of thought. Oh, my goodness. I lost it. Maybe we'll come back to it. Okay, well, that's a really cool experience overall. Oh, I know what it was. Playing in front of like 18,000 fans. Like, there's nothing like it. There's really nothing, you know, before that stage that prepares you for that moment, I think. And two, especially maybe like your sophomore year, it's completely different, play style, I would say, just with the way, the X's, like their rink is. Like, it's a lot different than, high school ranks, maybe even some other college rinks. I want to say the biggest thing that I've heard of is just like the puck bouncing off the boards is a lot more bouncy than other high school rinks. I would imagine you agree with that.
Absolutely, yeah. The puck just shoots off those things. Yeah.
Is there any? That's the big thing I kind of know of. Is there anything else that's like really different about just, the ice or the rink itself that, makes it difficult and, something you got to adapt to?
Yeah, I would say you get out there, like the lights, it feels like you're on an operating table. It's so bright, and I mean, you get used to it.
Hmm.
And then I would also say the glass, you hit guys, it really gives a lot, which is nice for guys who like to do that, like me.
Oh, so you like to
Yeah.
hit. I mean, you're a defenseman, and I mean, you've got some size, so I don't blame you. Have you ever been laid out yourself, or you're not
No,
into
no, I
that?
have for sure. I feel like that comes with the game. Took a pretty big hit last year versus Chanhassen and cut my nose open, but kept playing.
Okay, well, you're
But yeah.
toughing it out. See, I only stand at like 5'11", but I'm a pretty big guy. But I don't think I'd want to hit you on the ice, or I don't think I'd want to attempt to hit you because I feel like then you'd be out to get me, and I don't think I'd want to take a hit from you. I think I would. I honestly might even go flying, and I'm a big guy, so we love that. Well, I guess talking about size now, so you stand at 6'5". I'm gonna guess 200-ish pounds. What's something about your size that you think that you have like an advantage of, and then if there's any disadvantages with that as well? Because I would say, you're definitely a well above average height hockey player.
Yeah, I would definitely say my reach, and like I feel like it definitely is a benefit for my stick on the ice. Like my poke check, I pride myself on having a good stick. And then I would say just my skating too, being able to get that long stride, that's also a disadvantage as well. It was hard when I grew about 4 inches freshman to sophomore year to adjust to that skating, adjust to my feet, but I feel like it's definitely an advantage for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of advantages. I think especially like on defense, I feel like that's important. I know there's plenty of guys in the NHL who are bigger guys. I feel like it'd be difficult if you were like I don't know if you'd be able to play wing. I feel like if you were on offense, you can maybe go for center. I could
Yeah, I
see there
play
being
a
a
little
small
center
center.
till about Bantams, but
Okay, so you have some experience there. So practice and the game itself. I don't really know. I don't really know if there's like a negative about practice or about the game, but with practice, do you have like a most favorite part of practice and then like a least favorite part of practice? It could be a drill. It could be the fact that you have 8 a.m. practices sometimes.
yeah, I would say favorite parts definitely Mondays. We do a thing called Battle Mondays. Get done with school, rush over to the rink, and we got two teams up on the whiteboard with the guys' numbers, and we get in those colors, and then whistle blows, we get in the corners, corner battles, net front battles, just we battle the whole time, and gets pretty competitive. There's always a fight or two, and guys are pretty pissed off. And then losing teams got to skate pretty bad, and you're already tired from battling, so it's tough.
So that's why guys are getting into fights because they don't want to lose and then they don't want to have to do the extra
Yeah,
skating.
exactly.
I mean, is that common for guys on your own team to get into it? I mean, like I get there's the aspect of competitiveness, but I mean, like they're your teammates. Shouldn't you guys all be on the same
Yeah,
side?
I feel like it makes us better though, pushing each other like to the limit, to the point where you want to throw hands with some guy because you're battling so hard in the corner. I feel like, especially, it's good to get us ready for the next level for juniors and in college and beyond.
Okay, okay, that's valid. That's a good take. I like it. Okay. So for a CDH game day, what does that look like for you guys? Whether it's a home game or if you guys are going on the road somewhere.
Yeah, for home game, I don't know. I watched a couple of the previous pods, and those guys get out of school at 12. We go to school the whole day at CDH. We put on our uniform in the morning, and we're there till 2:45. And at our school, a lot of people live on our team. A lot of guys live far away, like as far as Hudson and places like
Wow.
that. So, but I'm lucky. I live like 5 minutes away from the rink. So go home. I like to stick handle a bit on my backyard rink, get the hands going, shoot some pucks, and then I'll eat ground turkey and pasta with red peppers. My dad cooks that up for me, and then I'll
Okay.
head back to the rink like 4:45 home game, and guys will be there just hanging out, getting a pregame nap in. I'll toss some music in, I'll tape my sticks, and then we're pretty much right into team warm up. We play a little sewer ball with the soccer ball, and that always gets intense. And then we go team warm up, like dynamic warm up, stretch out the hurting muscles with the roller, and then we do power play meeting, penalty kill meeting, forward and D meetings. We do that after warm ups, and then get ready, warm ups, come back in, have a couple minutes, and then Coach Funk gets us fired up, and then we pray together as a team before every game, and then it's go time.
That's a pretty good. It seems like it's well organized. You got a lot of stuff going on, but I think it's funny to backtrack to some guys who get out at 12. Yeah, I think it's crazy. Like the couple of guys, Jensen and Gertis, who I interviewed from Rogers. I mean, yeah, they like go to school online and they'll show up to campus, for like an hour or two. I mean, like that is just ridiculous to
Yeah.
me. And I feel like that might be a little bit more like a public school motto. I know going to a private school. I mean, even in college, like I remember I'm a big college football guy, and one of like the quarterbacks at like I want to say it was like Boston College's quarterback. He was like, "Yeah, like we lost to, like a big SEC school," but he's like, "Well, like I actually have to go to school like 5 days a week, unlike these guys." And he was kind of ripping them, and I'm like, you kind of have a point with that, and I know, I mean, it's important to take your school seriously there. They're not gonna maybe give you the athlete's privilege maybe as much as some of these other public schools may do. Do you have any like? I mean, I know you kind of have your thing. Is there any like superstitions that you have, or maybe like any other guy on your team has that you'd be willing to share?
Yeah, I try not to have too many. Other guys in the team, I would just say like where they tape their stick, what they eat. I mean, obviously what they eat is pretty consistent with guys, but I would say,
Mhm.
what else? I mean, we got a couple. Our goalies they're all good players. A couple of them are kind of weird though. They like to do things a certain way, whether it's like tape their stick or play with the racket balls in the same spot at the same time every game. You don't want to get them out of the routine. So, but I mean, I respect that with them being goalies.
Well, for sure. Yeah, you got to have a good routine, especially at that position. Okay. Yeah, I was curious when I interviewed Brent Solomon, his like pregame ritual is just insane. Where like he is munching on a Jersey Mike sandwich, watching Austin Matthews highlights, like alone in the corner. I'm like that's just so funny to me. So, no, that's super cool. Well, a couple of more questions for you. I guess while we're on the topic of food, you guys win a big game. Is there like a post-game meal or like a go-to spot in the Highland area that you like hitting up, like to kind of celebrate or just have fun
For a
with?
weekend game, the boys usually go to Chipotle, but weeknight game, guys got to drive kind of far back home. Guys usually do their own thing. I like to go home and eat the rest of
Yeah,
the pasta I didn't finish from earlier and munch down a protein shake
yeah.
and call it a night.
The Chipotle's are the one on Ford Parkway.
Yeah, before we go to the Fort Parkway one.
How's that one holding up? I know.
It had a bad stretch there, but it's gotten a lot better. It really has. Yeah.
How's it? That's good. I remember like it was like when I was in like middle school, it was awesome. And then it just went down the hole. Like I don't know, it was bad. And I remember like especially when I was in school at St. Thomas, like I always hear people saying like, well, the two nearest Chipotle's, there's that one and then
Yeah.
Grand
The one in
Avenue,
Grand.
if you know where that one is. And that one's tough to get to because it's so busy there. And people are like, oh, I don't know which ones to go to because they both suck. And now, since I live in Albertville now, so I moved up a ways away, and there's a Chipotle up here actually in Rogers that is awesome. So I always try to go there, but I know some of them can kind of stink it up a little bit. But glad to hear that the Ford Parkway Chipotle is doing well. Do you ever hit that Dave's Hot
Yeah,
Chicken?
I've hit Dave's Hot Chicken once or twice. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm more of a Raising Cane's guy, in my opinion. But yeah,
Really?
but there isn't one of those in St. Paul. You gotta trek to my home city of Minneapolis for that one.
Okay. So what, like the one at the U?
Lake Street.
I forgot
Yeah.
there's one on
Yep.
Lake Street. Yeah, you get to go to the
Oh yeah.
hood. Yeah.
Right by the third precinct. Oh yeah.
God, I love it. I hope they don't burn that Raising Cane's down. That would be unfortunate. Okay, well, moving on from that, yeah, I Cane's is pretty good. I actually, my funny thing about Dave's Hot Chicken, they used to only have two locations in LA. And I was like, I feel like the first person from Minnesota to ever try it. Like I tried it when it was like still starting up. It was way better than it is now. And I've only been to that one on Ford Parkway just once, and I was honestly not
I wasn't
impressed.
either.
And I think it's a little overpriced, and like the chicken was kind of small and it was super busy, And it was just, oh God, I hate it. There's too many high schoolers there. I'm like, oh God. Anyway, okay. Well, Chipotle, I think that's a common kind of like pre or post game meal for sure. Last question. So this one is the kind of fun one. I always like hearing people's opinions, and there are some rules. So it's your top line in the state. So 3 forwards, 2D, 1 goalie. I think out of respect to your teammates, you know that you're rolling with your boys. But for the purpose of the show, I will allow you to include yourself and maybe one other teammate, but I want you to try to think of other guys, around the state that you think, you know what, it's like live or die, you need the win, and this is the line that you're going
Okay.
with.
Ooh, that's tough. Need the win. Got to go with the gritty line here. So I'll go center River Freeman from Hermantown. He's a good player. We
That's a
played him earlier in the season. He's solid. And
okay.
then right wing, got to go my boy Max Anderson.
Okay.
He's on a bit of a
Oh,
suspension right now, but he'll be back in a couple games. And
do you mind me asking
yeah,
why?
it was his
Is that
second
like
offense of grabbing like someone's face mask. It was
oh
questionable, but he'll be back. And then
okay.
left wing, got to go to Eden Prairie. My boy Rio Chaharn. He's
Oh
he's an underrated forward in the state. Me and him grew up in
yeah.
Minneapolis together since birth, so our chemistry, it's there for sure. And
Okay.
then got to put myself on the lefty. And then right defense, got to head to Rogers Junior Jaden Kurtz. Me and him, played
Oh
together in Elite League, and just love playing with him. I feel like me and him would be able to get that win. And then goalie, love to go to Owen Nelson, CDH, but gonna have to go with Holy Angels, Luke Marslick. The
all
big
right.
check. He's
Oh,
he's
yeah.
he's 6'5" like me, and we played at Minneapolis together. And when he's hot, I feel like Holy Angels is a sleeper team in Section
Oh yeah.
6.
Oh yeah. I just called their game on Saturday. They've got one hell of a team there. They've got some really good players, and yeah, Marcel, he is a very solid goaltender. I didn't. Unfortunately, they played their backup in that game, so I didn't get to do that. But I know I've got a lot of their other games coming up, so I'm looking forward to him. Yeah, I will say, I think literally like I've only interviewed 3 other guys, but literally only I think yours is completely different from theirs.
Yeah,
So I love that. So you got some new guys on your knit and gritty line. I wish you guys can all just I wish we can I wish I had like the resources and the power to like actually put this together and put put that team together.
sweet.
That would be this to see who would actually
Yeah,
win. That would be super cool. Okay, so that's a really good team. Max Anderson, too bad about his suspension. And I didn't really know if it was like something outside of hockey or not. I knew a kid who got from my high school who got suspended like outside of hockey. But okay, so face mask, kind of
yeah.
questionable. Is it just 1 or 2 games?
So we had a 1 earlier in the season, and so this one's 4, but it's already been 2 games. So we
Okay,
didn't
so you
have
gotta
him
get him
versus
back.
Edina.
That would have obviously helped. Yeah, he's a very good player for you guys. Okay, well that's a great line. River Freeman, I know he's Hermantown's best or one of their best players, and they're obviously an elite team in Class A. I know Kurt's from Rogers. He's a dog. And then honestly, the guy from Eden Prairie, I don't think I maybe vaguely like recognize the name, but honestly, I was not expecting
Yeah,
like I was not
the
expecting
chemistry
him.
is just
Wow.
there between me and him. I had to put him on. Yeah,
Chemistry, yeah. No, that's
yeah,
valid. I mean, chemistry
it
goes a
does.
long way.
Yeah,
You could put a team with, all the D1 guys who are going, to the Big Ten or out east, and then versus, guys who, might not go D1 all the time, but if the chemistry's there, they can do a lot of things. So that's an awesome line. All right. Well, that's all I have for you, dude. Thank you again, Jimmy, for coming on. I appreciate your time and good luck for the rest of the year.
thanks for having me.
Yeah.